Inuyasha! Feudal combat!
Go ahead and pick a mode. Story mode. Go ahead and pick a story. Sesshomaru's chapter.
The Tetsuga can destroy 100 demons in a single sweep. Father bequeathed that sword to Inuyasha. And to me, he gave the Tenseiga, which can save 100 lives with one stroke. Father, I cannot understand your reasoning. Why did you leave that inferior half-demon, the Tetsuga, instead of me? Father.
I came to see what that strange scent was. Such power and swordsmanship. Just who the heck are you, anyway?
I can't be bothered with insignificant demons. Get lost.
What did you say to me? I'm not gonna stand here and be ridiculed by you. You asked for it. Are you ready to fight?
I'll put you in your place.
I find Sesshomaru is one of the harder and more fun characters to play as, which may not be saying much. Just like every other character, you want to pick one combo that works really well and stick with that. In Sesshomaru's case, it's square, 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 X, X. And that's the combo we're going to be using the whole story mode, to fight everyone. The reason he's more fun to play with, though, is that sometimes he actually attacks too slow, and the enemy does manage to get a hit in, occasionally. So you have to block once or twice. It's incredible. I mean, he does have other moves besides this combo we're going to be using over and over, and if the game's AI were less dumb, they might actually be useful. Like, he can use his poison claws to have a longer reach attack, sort of a lunge, than his sword. But there's no real reason to do that. I've said it before, but it's so bizarre. All of the pieces are here for a fighting game that requires more thought. The moves are well thought out, so if the AI did actually punish you for wasting combos, you would have other options to use, and the game would be genuinely engaging. But instead, the AI is just stupid, and that kind of is the main flaw here. Now, the AI being smarter would not fix the fact that the game is overly simplistic, but it would make you have to think. More than once, at least. And I think that would be an upgrade. I think that would be a significant improvement.
So, you are Sesshomaru.
And you're the priestess who sealed Inuyasha 50 years ago.
Naraku is plotting to take your demonic power.
I see.
Naraku must not be allowed to absorb your demonic power. Stay away from him.
Ridiculous. An inferior demon such as Naraku would not be able to defeat me.
I didn't expect that you would listen to me. I have no choice then.
The sacred arrow you used to seal Inuyasha? You are mistaken, priestess, if you think that I am anything like that half-demon.
I said it in the last video, this game's critical reception by professional critics was pretty accurate. But the thing is, I'm not sure whether it's accurate because of genuine thoughtfulness or if it's just coincidence. Because a lot of times, game critics, professional game critics will claim a game is mindless and a button masher, but it's blatantly obvious that they just turned the game down to easy mode and then proceeded to button mash, instead of playing on normal difficulty and actually bothering to learn the game mechanics. And I'm sure that must be very tempting as a game journalist, you know, that has to be very tempting. You need to get a review out so you can get paid. You have maybe a couple weeks to make the review. It'd be a lot easier if you just turned it on easy difficulty and breezed through it, right? That's a shitty thing to do, and it makes you a shitty journalist. But I guess they're only human, and humans do shitty things like that sometimes. I just hope the critical reception for this game was, you know, genuinely thoughtful, instead of correct by accident. That's all I'm saying. Now, you know, if the game is still mindless on normal difficulty, whatever. I'm not gonna blame you for that. You cannot be asked to play it on hard difficulty just to figure out if it makes more sense that way. It's called normal difficulty for a reason.
I will not be defeated by a mere human priestess. It seems Naraku has another plan up his sleeve.
Naraku's just up ahead. To tell you the truth, I'm quite surprised you've come here of your own free will. Sesshomaru, if you want to bring Naraku down, why don't you team up with me?
You are going to betray Naraku? I can take out Naraku on my own. I have no need of your help. Speak of the devil.
Naraku.
So, Kagura, you're going to betray me. Well, if that's the case, then my body will absorb you first.
Naraku, you will know regret as you die the miserable lesser demon that you are.
The most positive review of Inuyasha Feudal Combat calls the game a stable fighting game with the capacity to provide at least some measure of entertainment. And that's a 75. And you know, that's how I would describe it. It's a stable fighting game with the capacity to provide at least some measure of entertainment. I worded it a little more optimistically than that, you know. I said this game is good if you want to play a casual game, you know, to relax with. You know, saying it has the capacity to provide some measure of entertainment Sounds a little pessimistic, sounds less like a compliment, more like a passive-aggressive jab. But it's just an equally accurate way to say what I said, with a slightly different connotation. And I don't use number scores, I hate number scores. I think trying to put a number on a piece of art is really stupid, and you should use words to articulate your point instead. And when you bring those numbers into aggregate, it's even stupider, because no one uses the same metric. You know, one person's 7 could be another person's 3. So, it's really dumb to give games scores, basically. But if I ever did use scores, I probably would not give a game a 71 and say it has the capacity to provide some measure of entertainment. That doesn't sound like a 71, that sounds like a 50 or 5. I'm sorry, the score is a 75, not a 71. But that's just... the point still stands. If anything, the point is more accurate now. I mean, you can see for yourself, this is a Let's Play. The game is not offensively bad. I am playing it well, but I'm not using my brain. So that's exactly the kind of game it is.
You're not good enough to be my enemy. What a waste of time.
Sesshomaru.
It's you, Sesshomaru! Don't tell me you defeated Naraku!
Inuyasha. So, you've shown up. I think it's about time we find out why Father entrusted someone like you with the Tetsaiga.
There's a lot of things that you can't say about Inuyasha, but one of those things is that it wouldn't frustrate very many people, you know? That's probably another thing to add to the positive column, is that this game probably doesn't frustrate anyone unless they're just really irritated by how mindless it is. But that's kind of hard to be bothered by for a game this short, I think. Other things you can't say about Inuyasha. You can't say it looks awful. The graphics are clean. It looks okay. I don't know if I'd say it looks good. It looks a lot better with the S-video setup I have, but you know, the game looks okay. Doesn't look offensively bad. The graphics aren't going to offend anyone. Except for that one reviewer that said it looked like a PS1 game, but I don't think he's ever played a PS1 game, so his opinion does not count.
The Tetsaiga!
Wait, Sesshomaru. It's not over yet.
It's a waste of time.
I'm not giving up. There's no way I'm losing.
Inuyasha!
Things you can say about Inuyasha Feudal Combat. You can say the game is disappointing. You can say it doesn't stand up to its contemporaries. And by its contemporaries, I don't mean other fighting games at the time. I mean other anime fighting games at the time. The 2000s were full of anime fighting games, and almost all of them had more to offer than this. You know, the One Piece Grand Battle series, the Budokai Tenkaichi series, the original Budokai series, Shaman King Power of Spirit. There was a lot more to all of those than there is to this. And in case anyone is seriously, thinking that I'm telling them what they can and can't say. Obviously, that's part of a bit I'm doing. You can or can't say whatever the hell you want about this game. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just using this format as a humorous delivery for my criticisms and other statements toward Inuyasha Feudal Combat. It's an attempt to add variety to the commentary and create a sense of cohesiveness between the fights as I continue talking about topics. In all honesty, I think it's kind of a shame this game didn't get a sequel, because the other anime fighting games, they started off good, but they only got better with their sequels. Like Budokai 2 and 3 are way better than the original Budokai. Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3 are way better than Budokai Tenkaichi. Maybe Feudal Combat 2 would have actually been really good. Again, not that this is awful, but it is pretty... You don't have to think, it is pretty mindless. So maybe Feudal Combat 2 would have actually done a good job making use of the combat system here, because the combat system is a good idea, and the moves are well designed. So they just maybe fix the AI, that would be good. And make the game more viable for multiplayer, because playing multiplayer in this game is a nightmare. The characters are not balanced at all for multiplayer.
This fight is over.
Inuyasha!
So he's finally stopped moving.
Are you planning to kill Inuyasha?
There would be no point to that. Tell Inuyasha this. The next time I see him, if his heart is taken over by demon blood, I will kill him without fail.
Sesshomaru.
Father, I now see why you entrusted the Tetsaiga to Inuyasha.